The male protagonist Kenjiro suffers from a female phobia. Although he has many hot suitors, he cannot have intimate interactions with them due to his phobia. Whenever they try to forcibly touch him, he will have nosebleeds and even faint. Actually, Kenjiro is very horny, and his biggest dream is to become real couples with them. Today, let's see if Kenjiro can overcome his weaknesses and build a harem. At the beginning of the story, Kenjiro, who is sleeping in his room, is attacked by his sister Kureha. This is a unique way for Kureha to wake up her brother Kenjiro. Their father has passed away and their mother is practicing martial arts in India. Kureha inherited their mother's talent in martial arts, thus much stronger than Kenjiro when it comes to fighting. When Kenjiro arrives at the school, he meets Kanade and her butler at the school gate. Kanade is the little princess of the Suzutsuki group and the daughter of the school principal. From such a wealthy family, Kanade has her butler Subaru follow her all the time. Subaru has a handsome look, enjoying high popularity in school. Kenjiro also thinks Subaru is dazzling, thus often attracted to him. Kenjiro has a good friend, Kurose, who discovers that Kenjiro is staring at Subaru all the time. Coupled with the fact that he hates being touched by girls, Kurose suspects that Kenjiro likes boys. No matter what Kenjiro explains, Kurose doesn't believe it. Students are attracted to their conversation, looking at Kenjiro strangely. Kenjiro quickly flees away from the weird gaze, only to bump into a hot classmate, Nakuru. He is so afraid of contact with girls that he immediately rushes into the men's toilet. Meanwhile, Subaru is using the toilet in the cubicle, but the lock is broken, so Kenjiro opens the door directly. To his surprise, he sees Subaru wearing girls' underwear. In Kenjiro's eyes, Subaru is a very popular and perfect man, and he could never imagine Subaru to be a pervert. Subaru does not want this to come to light, deciding to keep his mouth shut by force. Kenjiro is not good at fighting, and he hurriedly hides in an abandoned laboratory. Subaru chases him to the lab and vows to finish Kenjiro with his mighty butler knuckle. Hearing this weird name, Kenjiro can't help but complain that Subaru is awful at naming his attack. Just then, the glass jar on the shelf falls, while Kenjiro immediately protects Subaru. However, this protection exposes Subaru's secret to Kenjiro. It turns out that Subaru is actually a girl. Kenjiro happens to touch her softest part and can't help bleeding from the nose. Though he explains it's due to his phobia, Subaru is still upset and stuns him with a fire extinguisher. When Kenjiro wakes up, he finds himself in the infirmary, with his right hand and feet cuffed. It is Kanade who trapped him. As Subaru's master, she wants Kenjiro to keep it a secret. Every generation of male members of Subaru's family will be the butler of Suzutsuki's family, and the position is only for men. However, Subaru has wanted to be Kanade's butler since she was a child. Hence, Kanade's father made a condition that if she could hide her femininity during Kanade's 3 years of high school, he would allow her to become a butler. Now that the secret is found out by Kenjiro, they can't let Kenjiro go easily. Kanade has heard about Kenjiro's special physique, deciding to check his body. Since he will have a nosebleed when touched by a girl, Kanade proposes to cure his phobia on the condition that he won't reveal Subaru's secret. After Kenjiro agrees, Kanade delves into his physical condition. The next day, to spy on Kenjiro, Subaru comes to his house very early. While waiting for him at the door, Subaru's clothes are soaked by the rain, and Kureha invites her in to take a bath. Coincidentally, Kenjiro gets up at this time and sees Subaru's body, getting severely punched by her once again. Then, Kenjiro and Subaru come to school together. Kurose suspects they have a special relationship, reminding Kenjiro to be careful because Subaru's fans have formed an underground club, and they are so jealous of Kenjiro that they may secretly attack him. Kurose's fears soon become a reality. Luckily, when Kenjiro gets attacked by a fan, 3 girls help him avoid the attack. They are very supportive of Kenjiro and Subaru's relationship and vow to guard their romance. Kanade passing by witnesses what happened to Kenjiro. To apologize, she gives him a service voucher, with which he can order Subaru to do anything, including to make out with him. Hearing this, Kenjiro is embarrassed and firmly believes that he will not force Subaru to do anything. After school, Kanade arranges a date for Kenjiro and Subaru, as she believes that Kenjiro needs more contact with girls to cure his phobia. It is Kenjiro's first time seeing Subaru wearing a dress. Her hot figure reminds him of the touch on her body. Just then, Subaru is attracted by a claw crane, and with the help of Kenjiro, she acquires a sheep plushie. Subaru has a great time in the amusement arcade. Thinking of the purpose of this date, she asks Kenjiro why he suffers from the female phobia. Kenjiro explains that his mother is a professional wrestler and his sister loves martial arts as well. So since an early age, he has been their sandbag, but as long as he bleeds, they would stop beating him. Just then, Subaru receives a call from Kanade, who instructs her to touch Kenjiro's hand. Surprisingly, Kenjiro doesn't have a nosebleed this time. Kanade is happy, rewarding him with a service coupon. Then, Kenjiro commands Subaru to make a sheep sound, which makes Subaru very ashamed. So she tries to punish Kenjiro, only to be stopped by Kureha. It turns out that Kureha has heard rumors about Kenjiro dating a boy and is very worried about his situation. Therefore, she follows Kenjiro here, only to discover that Subaru is a pervert who loves to wear dresses. Shocked by it, Kureha starts to attack Subaru, who turns out to be superior in martial arts to her, and knocks her out in a few moves. Kureha is hit hard, rejecting to talk to Kenjiro and Subaru from this day on. On the other day at school, the teacher asks the students to change into gymnastic clothes and go to the infirmary for a physical check. Worrying about Subaru's secret being exposed, Kenjiro offers to help her measure her bust. In return, Subaru also helps Kenjiro to avoid him being touched by the female nurse. Besides this, what worries Kenjiro the most is the check on the heart and lung. He hugs Subaru tightly to prevent the doctor from using the stethoscope on her. Subaru is grateful for Kenjiro's help and decides to invite him to dinner. Before high school, Subaru and Kanade were home-based, so she had no friends. It is the first time she has had dinner with someone. Since Kenjiro has known her secret, she is very relaxed in front of him. After school, Kenjiro gets the bad news that Kureha has fallen in love with Subaru. Although Subaru is a little strange, she is both powerful and handsome, and it is reasonable for girls to be fascinated by her. When Kanade learns about Kureha's feelings for Subaru, she thinks they are a good match. So when meeting Kureha, Kanade falsely claims that she and Kenjiro are the couple, encouraging Kureha to bravely pursue her love. To help them get closer to each other, Kanade organizes a couple date. It is worth mentioning that the amusement park they'll go to happens to be the place where Kanade and Subaru were kidnapped as children, and Subaru always thinks it was her fault to have her lady kidnapped, feeling very guilty. Just like Kenjiro's fears for women, Subaru has her weaknesses. Kenjiro is curious about it, but Kanade refuses to tell him, just asking him to stay with her as her boyfriend. This is a very sweet annoyance for Kenjiro. Suddenly, Kenjiro discovers that a child has drowned, with no lifeguards around, so he jumps into the pool without hesitation. But he ignored the kid is a girl, and faints after rescuing her. When he wakes up, he receives a call from a mysterious man, who kidnapped Kanade and Kureha, asking him to be at the meeting place within 10 minutes. As the mysterious man shows the knife in his hand, Subaru is very scared. After experiencing the kidnapping, Subaru developed a knife phobia. But despite this, she still wants to rescue her lady and Kureha. Unable to change her mind, Kenjiro can only knock her unconscious, and goes to confront the kidnapper alone. He is not good at fighting, thus unilaterally withstanding the attacks. Meanwhile, Subaru wakes up, worried that Kenjiro would be injured. She rushes to the meeting place, where she overcomes her fear of knives to protect Kenjiro, and after defeating the mysterious man, she successfully rescues Kanade and Kureha. Unbeknownst to her, it was Kanade who planned the kidnapping, with Subaru's father Kono pretending to be the kidnapper. Kanade's intention was to cure Subaru's knife phobia. Although their plan succeeded, Subaru is still terrified. When she rushed to the rescue, she was afraid that she would never see Kenjiro again. Hearing this, Kenjiro hugs Subaru tightly, recalling what his father had said to him, that only by becoming stronger could he protect the people he cared about. He makes a promise to his father in his heart that he will definitely become stronger. After that, Kenjiro ushers in the golden week he has been looking forward to. Since Kureha went to field training, Kenjiro is left alone in the house. Unexpectedly, Subaru suddenly appears at his doorstep, begging him to take her in. For some reason, Subaru was evicted from her family, and has nowhere to go, so Kenjiro can only take her in temporarily. Subaru does not want to owe Kenjiro and decides to become his butler. The first thing she does is correct Kenjiro's habits. She does not allow him to sleep in and forcibly asks him to practice martial arts with her. After the workout, Subaru is going to wash clothes. When she throws Kenjiro's used towel into the washing machine, she suddenly becomes curious about the boy's smell and couldn't help but sniff Kenjiro's towel. Meanwhile, Kenjiro is in a hurry to take a shower, but to his surprise, Subaru offers to help him rub his back. Subaru thinks it's her duty, asking Kenjiro to just relax. As Subaru is going to touch Kenjiro's back, the voice of Kureha suddenly comes from outside the door. It turns out that Kureha fought a bear in the wild, resulting in a broken arm, so she has to return in advance. She walks into the house, sees the girl's clothes on the basket, and suspects that Kenjiro is with a girl. She immediately rushes into the bathroom, only to see Kenjiro and Subaru together. She always considers Subaru a boy, thus careless about their bathing together. Kureha likes Subaru, and to attract Subaru's attention, she deliberately changes into a pink dress. Just then, Kanade suddenly comes to Kenjiro's house, claiming to be their maid to live with them, which makes Kenjiro get a headache. He rejects her, saying that there's already a butler in this house. However, Kanade doesn't give up, proposing to duel with Subaru. They both will feed Kinjiro apples to see who is better as a maid. Kanade tries to hold the apple with her lips and then gets closer to feed Kinjiro, making him very shy. To defeat Kanade, Subaru decides to have the apple in her mouth before kissing Kinjiro. Just then, Kinjiro suddenly faints with a high fever. Subaru is very worried about Kinjiro, preparing a lot of treatments for him. However, all these ways are so extreme that Kinjiro feels even more painful. Kanade then proposes to help Kinjiro get rid of Subaru. In exchange, he must also assist her. Since the kidnapping plan, Subaru has been rejecting to talk to her father, which enraged Kanade's father, who threw both of them out of the house, saying that they couldn't come back until they reconcile. Therefore, Kanade wants Kinjiro to help Subaru and her father reconcile. Meanwhile, Subaru has discovered that Kinjiro sneaked out from home, rushing to take him back. Kinjiro then tells her that Kono is very worried about her and she should go back home, but Subaru is reluctant to leave. Kinjiro has not yet fully recovered, and she is afraid to see him suddenly faint again. She does not want to lose him. What's worse, Kinjiro accidentally falls at this moment due to a lack of strength. In order not to worry Subaru, he tries hard to stand up by himself, promising her that he will not die, and she can just go home with ease. Hearing this, Subaru is so touched that she agrees to his request. His behavior also makes Kanade think he is not as timid as he used to be. After he gets recovered, she takes the initiative to kiss him. Then, a new female character, Masamune, shows up. One day, Masamune accidentally bumps into Kinjiro while riding an electric bike to school. Since Kinjiro has become much stronger, he is not harmed, but his glasses fell on Masamune's thigh. As he tries to get the glasses, Masamune mistakes him for a perv who wants to peek at her private parts, kicking him hard on the spot. Not until the glasses fall off her body and Kinjiro catches it in time does Masamune realize that she has misunderstood Kinjiro and feels very ashamed. But when Kinjiro puts on his glasses, she recognizes him as Subaru's gossip boyfriend. Masamune never considers him to be worthy of Subaru and teaches him another hard lesson. Kinjiro faints on the road after the punches. Luckily, Subaru discovers him and takes him to the infirmary, where Kinjiro insists that he is not injured, intending to make Subaru relax. Subaru notices that Kinjiro has been avoiding Kanade lately, taking the chance to ask if he is experiencing any troubles. She then expresses her willingness to help Kinjiro, but he must agree to go to the school festival with her. Granting Subaru's request, Kinjiro starts telling her about the first kiss he had with Kanade, which troubles him a lot. However, Subaru mistakes him for indicating to kiss her, and just as she is going to take the initiative to kiss Kinjiro, Kanade shows up, announcing that she is going to open a maid cafe at the school festival to fulfill a lot of schoolmates' wish to see Subaru in dresses. Later, Kinjiro meets Masamune again at school, and they come to the rooftop to talk. It turns out that Masamune likes Subaru, and that's why she hates Kinjiro. She happened to see a photo of Kinjiro and Subaru, where Subaru was wearing a dress. Coupled with the rumors in the school that Subaru is becoming more and more like a girl, she believes that Kinjiro is forcing Subaru to play a girl. Kinjiro, fearing that Subaru's secret will be exposed, agrees to Masamune's request of pretending to be her boyfriend. Just then, Subaru comes to the rooftop, only to be introduced to Kinjiro's girlfriend, Masamune. She refuses to believe it, but Masamune explains their relationship again and emphasizes that they intend to date at the school festival. Subaru and Kinjiro have made a pact to go to the school festival together. She can't believe that Kinjiro broke his promise to her for a girl he just knew. Enraged, she punches him hard and runs away. In order to better play a couple with Kinjiro, Masamune proposes a dating drill. She asks Kinjiro to go to the mall with her and help her pick a swimsuit. When Kinjiro sees her in a sexy swimsuit, he can't help but blush. After the date, Kinjiro decides to walk Masamune home as it's kind of late already. During the walk, they pick nicknames for each other. Masamune tells Kinjiro that no matter what happens, she wants him to trust her during their relationship. On the day of the school festival, Subaru ruins their date. She doesn't want to see Kinjiro with other girls and decides to spy on them as a friend. At her demands, Kinjiro is forced to take her with them. While visiting the animal cafe, Kinjiro is taken away by a person dressed in a sheep costume. She turns out to be the girl that Kinjiro once bumped into, Nakuru. Her purpose is to alert Kinjiro to be careful. Since Kinjiro and Subaru become close, Subaru's fan club has split into two different factions. One supports them being together, which Nakuru belongs to, while the other is very disgusted with Kinjiro. There will be a competition between the two factions, and if Nakuru's side loses, Kinjiro may fall into danger. She reminds him that Masamune is trying to use him to make Nikuru's faction waver, so he shouldn't trust Masamune. Meanwhile, Masamune has discovered Nikuru's intention. She has always been opposed to Kinjiro and Subaru being together, and takes the opportunity to attack him. Thankfully, Subaru arrives in time to protect Kinjiro. After Masamune escapes, Kinjiro reveals everything to Subaru. To resolve the conflict between the two factions, Subaru and Kinjiro sneak into the match venue. Unexpectedly, the minister of the fan club turns out to be Kanade. The first round of the competition is a quiz about Subaru. To win it, Subaru and Kinjiro decide to fight alongside Nikuru. When asked who Subaru has kissed for the first time, Subaru plucks up the courage to say Kinjiro's name. It turns out that when Kinjiro fainted in the pool, Subaru gave him artificial respiration. Getting the right answer, Kanade plays a video of them kissing, which angers the fans in the opposing faction. Kinjiro, fearing that his life will be threatened, expresses his love to Kanade, who however, politely rejects him, saying that he's a good person, but she can't be with him. In fact, Kanade has seen through Kinjiro's intention, and is upset about him using her, so when they are alone, she punishes him with a kiss. After the competition, Kinjiro questions Masamune about why she deceived him. Unexpectedly, Masamune is depressed and ready to drop out of school. She reveals to Kinjiro that the reason why she likes Subaru is that she felt Subaru was a lonely person like her, and she wanted to be good friends with Subaru. However, before she could talk to Subaru, Kinjiro has taken the chance and became close to Subaru, while she was still alone. This made her hate Subaru and Kinjiro, but the person she hates the most is herself, because she has never been able to be friends with anyone. To help Masamune, Kinjiro takes her to the bonfire at the festival, telling her the secret that he suffers from a female phobia. He then introduces Masamune to Subaru as a friend. His efforts touch Masamune, who then decides to become friends with him and cure his phobia. At the beginning of the summer vacation, Subaru kidnaps Kinjiro under Kanade's orders. When Kinjiro wakes up, he finds himself in the same bed as Kanade, and they are now in a luxurious hot spring hotel. Kanade's parents ignored her ideas and went abroad for the summer, which angered Kanade so much that she expressed her displeasure by running away from home. The hotel is her family property, and in order not to be sabotaged by the staff here, she claims to be a couple with Kinjiro, and they eloped here because of her parents' objection. Kanade intends to take this opportunity to treat Kinjiro's phobia. While playing by the beach, she asks Kinjiro to apply sunscreen to her. During the process, Kanade always makes some strange sounds, which makes Kinjiro feel very shy. Later, Kinjiro meets Nikuru, Masamune, and Kureha at a restaurant by the sea. It turns out they are from the same society and they were here to camp. However, they accidentally got separated from the others while swimming. Without their luggage or money, they could only work in the restaurant. Fearing that they will discover Subaru's secret, Kinjiro makes Subaru wear a pair of glasses and falsely claims that she is Subaru's cousin. Neither Kureha nor Nikuru doubts her true identity, while Masamune sees through her disguise. But she doesn't think Subaru is a girl, just mistaking her for having some sort of fetish. Just then, Kanade invites them to her hotel, but Subaru's father Kono follows Kanade here, trying to take her back. Kono hopes Subaru will help persuade Kanade, while Subaru pretends not to recognize her father as she cannot reveal her identity. Ostracized by Kanade and Subaru, Kono can only camp in the wild. In contrast to him, Kinjiro not only has a superlative room, but also sleeps with 4 beautiful girls. When Kinjiro wakes up, he decides to go to the hot spring, where he surprisingly meets Subaru. They are not wearing any clothes, causing the atmosphere to be so awkward. Just as Kinjiro is about to leave, he bumps into Kono, who is coming in. Subaru quickly hides behind Kinjiro as she is afraid to be seen by Kono. Kono didn't notice Subaru, just questioning Kinjiro what is his relationship with Subaru. Kinjiro explains that they are just classmates and friends, which makes Kono relax a lot. Despite this, he still hates Kinjiro, even feeling disgusted to stay in the same hot spring pool with him. Therefore, he soon leaves. However, when he's back to the dressing room, he sees Subaru's underwear. Realizing that Subaru is in the hot spring with Kinjiro, he gets extremely furious. He goes back, and is about to attack Kinjiro, only to be blocked by Subaru. As the father and his daughter fall into a fierce fight, Kinjiro takes the chance to knock Kono out. Later, the protagonists attend a festival in the shrine nearby, but Subaru is missing. While looking for her, Kinjiro encounters Kono, who reveals to Kinjiro that tomorrow is the anniversary day of Subaru's mother's death, and the reason why Kanade didn't go abroad with her parents is that she doesn't want Subaru, who must be at Kanade's side as her butler, to miss the day. Learning of that, Kinjiro finally finds Subaru at the cemetery. She looks sad right now, telling Kinjiro about her past, when her mother was always worried she couldn't make any friends because she hid her identity as a girl girl and was a loner. Kinjiro was her first friend, and she wants to introduce him to her mother. Kinjiro's heart goes out to her, and he hugs her tightly, despite the consequences of his phobia. Then he braces himself with the last of his strength to introduce himself to Subaru's mother. Although Kinjiro eventually faints, he manages to win Subaru's favor. When Kinjiro wakes up from a coma, he learns of a game called Battle Royale. The winner will receive a luxurious prize and a kiss from the Yukata Queen, who is no other than Subaru, as she won the Yukata Beauty Contest. The rules of the competition are simple. Each contestant will be given a toy gun with dye inside, and once he gets shot a drop of dye by others, he is considered out. Kinjiro doesn't want Subaru to kiss anyone else, vowing to live to the end. Unexpectedly, Kanade spots his weakness, approaches him and hugs him tightly. After fierce competition, Kanade wins the final victory. After the hot spring trip, Kinjiro goes with Masamune to work at the maid cafe. Kanade happens to see them as she passes by, and immediately goes in to ask the two to serve her together. Meanwhile, Subaru, who got separated from Kanade, is forcibly brought into a cafe because her butler's uniform is the same as the employees here. As she tries to flee away, she breaks the door, thus having to stay to work part-time to pay for repairs. Elsewhere, Kinjiro is angry because Kanade has been staying here for a long time, while deliberately making very rude requests. As he is about to leave, he accidentally touches Masamune's private part, which makes him extremely embarrassed. Kanade suspects that Kinjiro is obsessed with maid costume, thus asking Masamune to seduce him. Thankfully, just as Kinjiro is about to surrender to Masamune, Subaru, who has finally paid off the debt, walks into the cafe, bringing Kinjiro back to his senses. Seeing Kinjiro not react to her seduction, Masamune believes he has no strange obsession. She even develops a crush on Kinjiro and can't help but blush in front of him. A few days later, it is Kureha's 16th birthday. Masamune and Mikuru prepare hearty food for her. Kanade even books the entire maid cafe to throw a lavish birthday party for her. Kureha feels so happy, but at the same time a little disappointed that Kinjiro is not by her side. In her memory, Kinjiro would celebrate her birthday with her almost every year. When she was 8 years old, Kinjiro spent all his pocket money just to buy her a teddy bear. At the age of 10, she got into a fight with her mother and ran away from the house. It was Kinjiro who found her in the park and took her home. When she was 12, he played games with her all day. At 13, Kinjiro took her to the ranch, and the next year, they set off fireworks together. Only last year, Kinjiro forgot her birthday and went to a concert with Kuro's. Does he forget about it again this year? Kureha thinks to herself. Anyway, she still has a great day with friends. When she returns home, she finds that Kinjiro has prepared a birthday present for her. He vowed last year that he would never forget her birthday again. Seeing the smile on Kureha's face, Kinjiro feels indeed happy and relaxed. On the first day of the new semester, Kanade invites Kinjiro and Subaru to dine together. Unbeknownst to them, Kanade has added a drop of wine to the food, causing Subaru to get drunk. She then deliberately smears the sauce on Kinjiro and asks Subaru to clean it up. Subaru obediently carries out Kanade's order, while Kinjiro feels so embarrassed and claims that they are good friends, hoping to get Subaru sober up. However, Subaru becomes very angry after hearing this. She wants to speak out her true thoughts, only to faint over being drunk the next second. Kinjiro can only take her to the infirmary. In the infirmary, Kanade accidentally burps while talking to Kinjiro. Such a cute voice attracts the attention of others. To help her get out of her awkward situation, Kinjiro explains that it was his hiccups. Kanade is very grateful to Kinjiro, and reveals her secret that once she starts hiccuping, it is hard to stop. When she finishes her words, she once again makes a very cute tone, which is overheard by Subaru, who just woke up. She tells Kinjiro that whoever hears the hiccups of Kanade would be captivated by her. 10 years ago, Kanade accidentally burped at a party, causing a riot. To stop it, Kanade orders Subaru to go home and get the props. After Subaru leaves, Kanade forcibly pounces on Kinjiro, who immediately tries to escape. To their surprise, Subaru soon returns, witnessing the intimate interaction between them, and she can't help but feel a little jealous. Just then, Kanade accidentally falls down the stairs, while Subaru doesn't react in time to save her. Feeling quite guilty, this incident has a great impact on Subaru. When Kono comes to the hospital, he informs Subaru that she can no longer work as Kanade's butler, which hits her hard. Eventually, she apologizes to Kanade, resigns as a butler and runs away. Kinjiro chases after her and finds her at her mother's grave, but Subaru does not want to go home for the time being, so they decide to stay overnight at a hotel. Before going to bed, Subaru offers to make out with him. Kinjiro is turned on, but he knows she is just being impulsive and forces himself to reject her. Eventually, they just hold hands tightly as falling asleep. For Kinjiro, physical contact is so irritating that he can't help but bleed from his nose again. After that, Subaru attends school as a girl, which, however, doesn't make her happy, because she still wants to be Kanade's butler. To help Subaru, Kinjiro decides to team up with her fans. He starts a 10,000-person signature drive at the school, hoping that his schoolmates can help keep Subaru as a butler. Kanade then shows her father these signatures, finally getting his permission. With the joint efforts of all, Subaru is restored to her position. She is very grateful to Kinjiro, offering to meet him at the park and kisses him in return. Although they are not a couple yet, Kinjiro believes that day will come. That brings the end of this anime. Mayo Chiki is a harem anime released in 2011. Girls disguising themselves as men were once a tendency in anime at that time, and Subaru thus gained a lot of popularity. This is overall a good work, except for some hentai images we all like. The chemistry between Kinjiro and Subaru is also quite compelling. If you can't decide what to watch during your leisure time, give this one a try. I'm sure you'll be impressed by it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like to help my channel out, and please subscribe to my channel. Your support means a lot to me. Bye!